Two.
Stay tuned for the Willpower Show with fitness leader and fitness guru Will Franklin. During the broadcast, he will be motivating and moving people along with materializing their dreams into realities. So get ready to be inspired by bodybuilder, motivator, and the trainer to the stars, Mr. Will Franklin with the Willpower Show.
Welcome back to the Willpower Show. I'm Will Franklin. You know what, guys? Man, I tell you, God is so good. The best. Did you hear that song? Well, guys, I'm going to tell you, when I left, I said I was going to bring to my show, the Willpower Show, unbelievable, incredible. This lady is really doing some great things. And you know what? Without further ado, I want to bring to the Willpower Show, Dr. Theresa Dixon. How you doing, Theresa?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you, Will, for having me on your show.
Theresa, thanks for being here, man. I tell you, Theresa, you know, you are an awesome, incredible lady.
Thank you.
And not only that, you're a strong black woman.
Absolutely. You're right
doing
about
great
that.
things and leading a lot of people out here in the community today.
Yes, that's correct.
But, Theresa, you know, I first met you, I think your son was about 6 years old.
Yep.
And he was wrestling with the Harvey Twister's wrestling program.
Yes, he was.
And I was coaching that program. And you know what? You came up to me and you was like, man, you know what, Will? You got something. You would say, Will, you got something. This was way back when your son was about 6 years old. Mm-hmm. And this kid right now has just graduated from college.
Yes,
We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
But Theresa, you told me, you was like, Will, you got something in you. And you know what? I'm going to bring it out. And you was the first person that said, Will, you need to start your own radio talk show.
Mm-hmm.
And you brought me in here. Now, Theresa has been my business manager for over 15, 16 years, guys. She's worked with me with all my pro ball players, all my athletes, all my singers, and she's been there supporting me from day one.
Sure has.
The willpower guy. You know what, Theresa? I'm very happy to have you on my show, but, you know, I'm really blessed to have you in my life because you've really penetrated the greatness out of me. Brought me into Daryl King's office and said, you know what, Daryl? This guy has got to have his own radio talk show.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? We talked about this for years, but you finally brought me in and got me started on the Willpower talk show here today.
That is correct. You're right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got to give this lady some ups. Some ups! She got willpower going. But Theresa, I'm glad to have you on my show. I want to talk about you today because this is something that, you know, people need to understand and they need to know, you know, who you are and what you represent and what you're doing out here in the industry today. But, you know, Theresa, I know a whole lot about you, you know, and I know what you're doing. But you started at South Suburban College, and you went on and became a dean at Kankakee Community College. And you helped various organizations around the community as far as in helping teens that didn't graduate from high school and teens that went on to college and doing great things. I mean, how do you do this? How do you keep this going like this?
Well, it's not me, Will. It's the Jesus in me. But let me clarify. I'm a professor at South Suburban College, full-time professor there. So I'm back at South Suburban. I started at South Suburban, started off in recruiting, and moved my way up, worked educational talent search, moved up to the job training that was on the Cook County Poet Program. Left there, went down to Kankakee, ran some programs. God just had me on a mission. He sealed me out to the wilderness to work and to be about his business, and that's what I'm about. And you asked me, who is Theresa Dixon? Well, let me tell you.
We want to know.
I'm an author. I'm a CEO. I'm a keynote speaker, a life coach, a presenter, distinguished professor. I love teaching and empowering people to be the best that they can be. I love lifting up and bringing people up. I am a mother of two wonderful children, Javon and Jayla. As you mentioned, my son just graduated from college. He's now coaching. He under the direction of you. You've rubbed off on him. He's in the weight room being Little Will.
Yeah, I trained Javon for a lot of years. I trained him all through grammar school, all through high school, and all through college.
Yes.
And now he's graduated from college, and now he's a coach at Marion Catholic High School.
And during college, he won 2 national championship rings. And, you know, so all that I can do accolades to you for instilling things in him, the dedication and commitment to be the best that he can be. You know, and one thing I'm really and truly proud about, I'm a child of God.
Hey, that's awesome.
That's
we give God all the great,
Absolutely.
all the glory, and we give him all the praise because he's done fantastic things with you.
Yes.
And I tell you, you know, you've been doing some great things. I mean, as far as for these teens and And, you know, I want to talk about you as a mom. I want to talk about you as a businesswoman. And I want to talk about your mentorship that you're doing out here for kids today. I mean, it's incredible. But, I mean, you were at every wrestling match your son had. You was at every football game your son had. From 6 years old all the way through college.
Yep.
And, you know, you have a wonderful, beautiful young lady that you're raising, your daughter.
Yes.
Man, I tell you, you know, let's talk about that a minute. I mean, being a mom and raising your kids, I mean, your son is so successful now. He's a coach at Marion Catholic High School where he graduated. I mean, how did you keep this up?
Well, you know what? Some things that my mother instilled in me. You know, I went to Thorne High School. I played basketball there. And I can walk into the gym today, Will, and remember my mother sitting there supporting my games. Many things that she had to do. She was busy. You know, she was involved. She was a community activist. But she took the time to come out and watch me play my sport. That carried down to me. I know how important it is to support our children. I think a lot of parents are forgetting that our kids want us to support them. They want to look up and see us there supporting them and lifting them up. So as a result, I never missed a game. If I missed a game, I was out of town, but I had someone there. He knew he had some support. He knew he had a family structure.
But Theresa Dixon, you are a very busy woman. I mean, I know you got a lot on your hands, but I mean, in during the time, you were very busy in your profession.
Absolutely.
And
Very
going
busy.
to school for your doctorate.
Yep.
But you attended every game. You always supported your kids in school and made sure he was a scholar. I mean, this is great things coming from a parent.
Yes, and a single parent
And
for
a
the most
single
part.
parent, raising
Yes,
a
for the
son
most-
to be a man.
Absolutely. But I give God all the glory. I take no credit for that. And the foundation in our church, I'll go to Bethlehem Temple Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of Reverend Dr. J.C. Smith. And one thing, when I speak to parents, when I speak to people, women cannot teach men how to be men. So if you are a single parent, you need to bring your sons around positive, quality men to give that structure. You was the one that was instrumental in his life. Quintrell Harrell with the wrestling team, the Harvey Coates, my church. He saw me and he saw and knew what expected. My brother Cliff Taylor, very instrumental in my son's life in how to be a father, a friend, and an uncle. He disciplined my son when he needed it. He was there for him. He's very supportive. So even though he didn't have that biological father, he has surrogate fathers in the church, you know, within his uncle and within the community as well. So that's what we need to get back to. There's a lot of kids out there that need that support. So you have to be committed. You have to have God first and then your family. Everything else fall in order after that.
Well, I see you have your priorities in order. I mean, you are really a great woman of God, and you are a great mother to your kids.
Thank you.
And you're a great businesswoman, you know. And I mean, I did a speech called "Driven by Your Goals," and it was based on, you know, driven by your goals.
Absolutely.
And
Remember all too
you
well.
are a great woman of God. You are driven by your goals. You have put God in the front row. He is your pace setter. He is the one that inspires you to go forward in your career. And that's an unbelievable thing. You know, kids are dreamers, but kids don't have vision. And it's up for us to give them vision. And you put your son in our wrestling program, and you put him around great men of God, and you also put him around great men that were leaders in the community. And he grew up that way, and he's doing the same thing today. But you're raising a young lady, Jayla, your daughter.
Yes.
And
yes.
I knew
Hi,
Jayla.
Jayla Bean. Say hi to Jayla.
Hey,
She's
Jayla, how you doing out there today? Man, your mom is really doing some great things with you. What are you doing with Jayla today?
Well, of course, raising girls are different. And just being that support for her, letting her know that she can talk to me, she can communicate with me, and just lifting up and empowering her. I work with a lot of young girls that have very low self-esteem. They don't have a father to tell them they're beautiful, a father to encourage them, a mother to encourage them. I tell my daughter every day she's beautiful. Today is going to be a great day. We got to put life into we got to speak life into our children. So when they go out, they won't make those poor choices. They know they have somebody at home to support them. So that's what we have to get to do, you know, and that's what I did with my kids. I'm not the greatest parent, I'm sure they'll tell you, but the end result, it worked. As a single parent raising a male child that I never had to get out of jail, Don't have any children that I'm aware of. But
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but being very successful. He respects women.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I told him one thing. You're going to respect women. You're going to know how to treat women. You know, and that's because of the respect that he has for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's not perfect. He's far from perfect. I was not a perfect parent. But again, I all goes back to the church, our foundation in God, and trusting and believing in God, and under the direction of our pastor and what he's been teaching us, and then we go out and apply it in our everyday lives. So all my credit goes to God. I take no credit, no
you
credit
said,
at all.
I mean, it says in Proverbs 22, raise a kid the way they should be, and when they grow up, they won't depart from him. And you've done a great job at doing that.
Thank